Mr. Chair, I rise today in strong opposition to HJRES 28, a partisan Congressional Review Act resolution that will block the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau from supervising payment apps offered by big tech firms like Apple and Google. Before I explain why this bill is bad, let us not ignore that President Trump and co-President Musk are tearing down key government agencies and programs as we speak, like the CFPB and Social Security. Last week, the president launched a global trade war against the rest of the world, including our friends, resulting in a record two-day loss of $6.6 trillion in wealth. Fed Chair Powell warned that these tariffs will lead to higher inflation and job losses. Later today, Republicans will try to pass the president's budget that is loaded with $7 trillion in tax cuts for Musk and the other big tech billionaires, all while they are slashing Medicaid by $880 billion and walking into our agencies and firing people. Employees, some have been working 10, 15, and 20 years and telling them to get out by 5 o'clock. And I absolutely respect the chair of the Committee on Financial Services, Mr. Hill, and what he does, but to talk about good government, he is absolutely defending what nobody would consider good government. We're in a chaotic position in the government of the United States of America. This is the worst that we've ever seen. We've never seen anything like this. As a matter of fact, I think it is a coup d'etat. And so I'm here today because instead of considering bills to lower costs for consumers, Republicans have called up yet another bill to help out the richest man on the planet. The richest man on the planet, who is a friend of Mr. Trump's, who has not been elected by anybody, who is absolutely controlling our government now. The firing of people, the destroying of agencies, all of that by an unelected billionaire who is intent on changing this government in ways that make it look like a dictatorship. Notably, this resolution will shield Elon Musk's X app, which will soon get into the payments business, from supervision and oversight by the CFPB. The CFPB oversees the largest banks and the services they provide to consumers, including their payment apps. However, until the large participant rule was issued, the CFPB did not have the authority to supervise and examine the payment platforms of big tech companies. In 2024, the CFPB leveled the playing field between big banks and big tech. This rule was necessary because big tech and other non-bank firms have increasingly offered mobile wallets and payment apps for consumers to use. While the same consumer protection laws that apply to the banks do not apply to these big tech firms, it is critical that the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau examine them to ensure they too are following the law. This will help the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau oversee these great big tech apps to protect the millions of consumers who use them and their digital wallets from fraud, to safeguard their sensitive personal data and prevent unfair, deceptive, or abusive practices. So let's be clear. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's rule that Republicans want to repeal by passing HJRES 28 imposes no new standards on these big, large payment apps. CFPB's rule simply allows the government to check that these companies are following the law, the very law that Congress passed to give the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau the authority to examine the largest big tech participants. Payment fraud is at its all-time high. And these payment apps play a big role in that increase. I have received more and more complaints from constituents who have been tricked, scammed, and defrauded out of their hard-earned money on these payment apps. And consumer use of payment apps is only increasing, with lower income households experiencing a disproportionate share of complaints. Between 2018 and 2021, fraud-related complaints involving Venmo, Cash App, and other payment apps surged by over 460%, while financial losses skyrocketed by more than 360%. Candidly, we should be working together across the aisle to tackle this rise in payment fraud, not undermining the authority of the agency that can enforce the law. This should not be a partisan issue. Instead, Democrats have to fight back against both Trump's efforts to kill the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and Republican efforts to gut the authorities of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. But I'm hopeful that we're making progress to stop these efforts to protect big tech and predatory lenders. A district court judge blocked the Trump administration from dismantling the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau before the administration appealed the ruling. And even this terrible resolution before us received bipartisan opposition in the Senate. Mr. Speaker, as we stand here and discuss these anti-consumer CRAs today, our constituents are deeply concerned about losing Social Security and Medicaid because of the Elon Musk's reckless cuts to government. Families and business across America are struggling as Trump raises taxes on Americans nationwide through tariffs. It makes no sense to pass legislation that eliminates oversight of these big tech apps while millions of people are being defrauded, scammed, and basically ripped off. We see this bill for what it is. Oh, a thank you gift to Elon Musk and other big tech billionaires who came to Trump's rescue during the 2024 election. We all saw them front and center at Trump's inauguration. You saw those billionaires accompanying him. Why are all the billionaires getting together? Because they don't want to pay more taxes. They want to get rid of employees who are providing all kinds of services to the constituents of this country in order to pay less taxes for the richest people in the country. Well, all of them run companies that will directly benefit passing this resolution. Enough is enough. I urge members of this House to show some courage and stand up for consumers, stand up for the rule of law, and reject this harmful legislation. And so I reserve the balance of my time. I've got a lot more to say.